What is up, my compadres and Gary? Ableton Live 11 is released, and it's awesome, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite features. Alright, so my first favorite thing they added, and this is probably the biggest of all of them to me, is comping. So with comping, you can, in arrangement view, record multiple takes to a track, and then you can sort of select which part of what takes you like. So I'm just going to record a few takes. So now I've got multiple takes recorded. I can press Command Option U, and you'll see this will open up the different takes with some different lanes in here. So each one of these lanes was just a take. It plays through, and once it loops back again, it creates another take. So now I can open my brush tool B, and I can just kind of paint in whatever sections from this I want. So you can take one section from one take, another one from another take. And on this right over here, you'll see there's these little speaker icons on each of these lanes. So you can select a speaker and press play. And it will show you what you played in that lane. Just make sure you turn it off also. It'll stay highlighted as long as you have this speaker icon selected. So I'm just going to go ahead and just paint in two different takes. So let's say I like the chords of that second take. They were major chords, and then I like the way this one went to a minor chord and then finished on a major. So let's say that's my take. So now Alright, then once you have that set, you can just press Command Option U, makes those takes go away. So now that I have my chords put together, I don't really need those other takes I didn't like, so I'm just going to go ahead and right click that and hit Consolidate, and that's just going to make it one MIDI clip. So now we're going to go on to my second favorite feature. Actually, these are really not in any particular order, which is scale mode. So over here on the left, you'll see there's a scale feature. So you power that bad boy up, and it'll highlight the scales for you. So here it's in C major, but we just recorded those keys in E major. So we're going to shift it to that. And then another thing you can do over here is you can press the scale button, and it will only show notes that are in the scale. So now if you want to easier paint in patterns and melodies and such, you can do that and not have to worry about painting anything out of key. So here you can see that these keys are dark blue. That lets me know that my bass is selected. So if I'm going to paint in notes, it's going to show up for my bass. So if you want to flip between your instruments, we can press these color bars up here, and now I press light blue, so my organ is selected, or we can select the notes themselves, and that will flip us back and forth between the instruments. And then whichever one is selected, we can paint notes in for. So you can hold down Command while you're using your brush if you want to add in longer notes. So let's just add in a melody here. No rhyme or reason, but I have this scale mode on, so I know that whatever I paint here is going to be in key. So let's just hear our melody we drew there. So this is just a fun way to come in and just really quickly throw things in while not having to worry about being out of key. So that's fun. And now we're going to move on to my next favorite feature, is linking tracks and editing link tracks together. So for this, I'm going to demonstrate with a guitar. So I have two instruments here. I have a main guitar and a doubled guitar. Here it is without the doubler. And here it is with the doubler. Just makes it really fat. So I want both of these to be recording and being edited at the same time. And so what I can do is select one and then hold down Command or Control on a PC, and I can hit link tracks. And now what that's going to do is you're going to see this little link icon shows up at the top right. And if you hover over it, it shows you which tracks are linked to that link icon. You can also right click that link icon and unlink tracks. So when they're linked, it gives you some added features. You can arm record them at the same time. So if you just press record on one, it arm records both of them. You can also edit the levels at the same time, and you can edit the pans at the same time. You can still modify these parameters individually. You just unselect them and just choose the track that you want, and you can still just modify that track on its own. And then if you want to select all tracks, you just click that link button, it'll select them all, and then it will edit them both. So let's say I'm now ready to record both of these. I can press arm record, and I can start recording. And you'll see now it's recording on both tracks. And because of the comping, it'll do multiple takes. Okay, so now we got a couple takes in there. So this is where the linked editing comes in good, handy fun. I'm going to go ahead and select both tracks by clicking that link icon, pressing Command-Option-U to open up my takes that I just did. And so now I can come through, I can monitor each of the takes. And when I click monitor on one, it'll shift the other instrument as well. So now I can just kind of click through and figure out what I want my arrangement to be. And then once I decide, I can come in here, and as I draw in one, you'll see it's drawing in my other instrument as well. And you'll see for both tracks, it is performing the same action. So that's super handy. And so yeah, so you'll just see that it's just playing through all those different takes that we took. So a pretty fun feature, and the fact that you can edit multiple linked files at one time really opens up a lot of cool options. So now we have that recorded. So now I'm going to move on to my next favorite feature, and this is just super clown, and I just think this is a super fun little thing they added. It's Bouncy Notes. Down here you see this little plugin called Bouncy Notes. So I'm gonna play a chord. Here's a D. So I did a D. So by default, the balls will just drop straight down on the note they were played on. But what's really cool is you can change like directions that they come in at, and like velocities and heights. And so now if I just tap that D, now you see they're just coming in all over the place, bouncing around, playing all kinds of notes. Let's stop that real quick. So obviously you wouldn't want them just bouncing around hitting any notes. So down here is a little piano icon, and you can choose your scale. So let's say I want to do major, and yeah, D's fine. So now when the balls come in, they'll just land on all the D major notes. But let's say I don't want that range to be that crazy. Let's say I want the range to be 2 octaves, so 24 notes, and I want all these balls to start at D3 and then only go up from there. And you can also change voices, which is like how many balls are dropping, how long the balls last for. So here you have like a lifetime in beats. You can have it so they drop on a press, on a release, so when I release a note, and you can also have them drop auto, where they drop based on a time, so every beat, every note, every 64th of a note, quarter note. You can choose the global gravity of how hard things fall, how well they bounce, the speed, mass, all kinds of fun things. But I'm going to show you real quick why I like this a lot. So I'm going to play chord progression down lower on the keyboard because I have the balls playing the higher D. So I'm just going to play a D. Just play a little chord progression. And it's just kind of fun. They're like little jamming buddies. I can just play some chords and they'll just bounce around the higher range. So, I don't know. I think it's just kind of fun, and it's cool graphic watching them bouncing around. I really like Bouncy Notes. I think it's a super fun feature, and just opens up a lot of interesting creative possibilities, which is what this is all about anyway. So yeah, those are my favorite features. Let me know what your favorite is down in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe. And remember to stay sexy and have a wonderful day, night, evening, whatever. Bye. Oh, and finger guns.